And we are live.
We are live. Hello to you, Tim.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Andrew is with us in the chat.
And Gerard O'Connor's there as well.
Okay,
yeah.
That hasn't updated for me yet. I'm still running about 10 seconds behind on my tablet.
Yeah, and I'm getting audio distortion. For some reason, it keeps distorting. The music somehow distorting your audio.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah, I see Gerard now. Hello, sir. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Good to see you both here again.
Well, I'm not dealing with Best Buy ever again when it comes to buying physical media. They
okay, so tell us about your experience with that.
They lost my DVDs because it was over a month, so they assumed, oh, well, it must have gotten lost in transit. We'll just refund it. No, I want the actual DVDs, reorder them. And they said, oh, we can't do that. I pointed out to them, well, at least one of these DVDs you can reorder, and they said that they would do that. They never did. I was in a chat with them for like over an hour. It was taking forever. I finally just walked away because they were just wasting my time.
Oh no. Well, that sucks. Are you able to get the DVD somewhere else?
Maybe. But it's because their own corporate stupidity of making the decision of doing away with physical media that I can't buy DVDs or Blu-rays from them ever again because they're just so stupid.
Right.
I can't even get the last things I ordered. So I made it known publicly on Facebook I'm not dealing with them ever again when it comes to physical media.
Right. Okay.
They want to go out of business.
Have they removed the stuff from their stores then?
It's listed as sold out on the website. I'm pretty angry about that.
Yeah. Oh.
And happy hello to you, Gerard.
So you ordered these DVDs about a month ago, you say?
At the start of January. And I was getting like tracking information up till the 11th, and then it was told that they were delayed, and then I never got another. Every time I've checked, it said that it's in transit to the next facility as of January 11th. I finally got a hold of an actual person the other day, and they told me it was likely they lost the DVDs in transit.
Oh no. I saw some photos. I think it was on Facebook. It could have been just generally online. There was a store in America, and they had cleared all their physical media away. They'd taken it all away. I think it might have been Best Buy.
Yeah, because they're stupid. They think people just want to stream everything, which isn't entirely true. Because you don't own you do not own the movies by streaming. It's just another. It's cable 2.0 is all it is, and they can take those movies off there anytime they want, even if you pay for the digital copy. They can take it off there anytime they want.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I mean, I do use streaming services like Netflix and Disney and stuff, but I would always prefer to have the physical copy of the movie or the TV series. Hello, Ben. Thanks for joining us, man. Adora. Hello. Thanks for joining us, ma'am.
Yeah, so far it's just two of us. I only sent out the link to a couple of other people.
Okay.
I sent it out to Lester and I sent it out to Nick. So I don't know if anybody else will be coming.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. If you guys in the chat have got any questions for Tim or I, please do feel free to chuck them in. Help us get through the stream. Otherwise, we might be talking about my cat, who's just come to see. Hello, you. She might jump up on the sofa again in a minute. Oh, and she's gonna rub her head all over my tripod so that my camera's gonna wobble now. Leave it alone. I do like this chill music, Tim. It's cool.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Adora. Yeah, my Superman and Batman cushions. Yep. So, Tim, what were the movies that you had ordered?
One was a Disney movie from either the 70s or late to mid 70s or early 80s called The Cat from Outer Space, and then the other one was a 70s like comedy action flick called Dixie Dynamite.
Oh, I think I've heard of that. I haven't seen it, but it rings a bell. Cat from Outer Space sounds cool. What could go wrong with a cat from outer space? Travels with Jason is here. Hello, dude. What's he saying?
Yeah,
so
Jason, you want to own at least a DVD copy, and if it's a widescreen movie, if you can only get a DVD copy, get one that's 16 by 9, so it'll actually fill up the screen, the TV screen. You might just have black bars on top and bottom. And Reading Movies wrote something in German, it looks like.
He's saying good afternoon or good evening from Austria. Reading Movies is currently away with his partner on a skiing holiday. Adora's asking what The Cat from Outer Space is about, Tim.
It's about a striped colored cat who comes to Earth in a flying saucer.
Excellent.
Oh, and Monkey Boy, I saw that. One of the two cats that lives next door to me, this one that looks like your cat, he came by our house a couple times this week when it stopped raining. He likes to come out. Sometimes he'll come over here and then he'll go next door and then he'll walk back alongside the bricks of our house back to his house.
Oh, cool. Does he come to visit you and say hello, or is he just passing through?
He's just passing through. He's a friendly cat, but he's afraid of me.
Oh. You look like a friendly teddy bear, Tim. I don't know how he could be afraid of you.
Just cats get afraid of people for some reason. But Ben Stetley is saying hi to Gerard O'Connor, Andrew, Adora, travels more with Jason and Reading Movies, and Jason saying, "Oh, I got a whole room full of DVDs, videos, and Blu-rays," and he's saying, just need to sort it. So, it's an order, as I am sure I got that film. Yeah, I think that's a John Carpenter film. It's called John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars. It's Natasha Kinski, who was in Species.
Oh yeah.
Is in it.
Natasha Henstridge, I think her name is it?
Yeah, Natasha Henstridge. That.
Oh. Species was a good film in its day. was pretty cool. It was one of the first films to show kids being killed, because in most films you didn't see, kids didn't usually die in the films. I don't know if you actually saw them being killed, but most films didn't show young people dying. But Species did have a couple of kids that were killed in the film, and it was quite unusual in that respect.
Well, it was a monster
Mm-hmm.
that gave birth to a monster baby, so...
Yeah, good film.
And then they made a Species 2, and I think there was a Species 3 and 4.
Oh, really? I knew there was a 2. I've seen 2, but I haven't seen the rest.
And then Natasha Henstridge, she had a TV series called She Spies, where she was one of 3. She played one of 3 girls that had been in jail. A guy had bailed them out just to work, I think maybe to work for the government.
Okay. Reading movies, saying there's some lovely scenery where he is. Yep. So tell us, Reading Movies, have you decided to brave the slopes yourself? Have you had a bit of a slide down the hill on some sort of plank or planks? Ben is asking if I've watched any of last week's DVD pickups yet. Great choice with Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. No, I haven't watched any of last week's DVD pickups, but I have watched one of this week's DVD pickups. I got very, well, not lucky as such, but I went into Norwich City. Oh, sorry, I dropped out there.
I'm trying to adjust your mic settings.
Okay.
Let me... Okay, try talking again. Let's see how it sounds.
Testing. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, just try talking for a while.
Earth calling Tim. I went into Norwich City and I went into a couple of charity shops, and they were selling DVDs very, very cheaply. Now, if there was anyone else on the panel, I would ask them to guess how much, either in US currency or in UK currency, how much the DVDs were each. Tim already knows, so I'm not going to ask Tim, but if anyone in the chat can guess how much I paid for each of the DVDs that I bought yesterday, I don't mind if you want to do it in UK currency or US currency, because I know the price in both currencies. So yeah, have a guess. See if anyone can get close to the figure that I paid for each of the DVDs. Oh yeah, Bridge to Terabithia. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a blast from the past, Adora. I remember that. Bridge to Terabithia. Goodness me.
And sorry, I had to turn it off, Andrew, because somehow Monkey Boy's audio was getting distorted.
Does it sound okay now?
Yeah, it sounds okay now.
Okay. Yeah, sorry guys, the music hates me. Reading Movies is saying no planks this year, hiking poles and snow grips on boots and walking. Oh, you've taken it off, Tim. Go back.
Yeah, it's free.
And walking up and down the slopes. I believe those spiky things that you put on the boots, I believe they're called crampons. I used them when I was in New Zealand when we were hiking through or over a glacier, however you want to say it. We had crampons on our feet then. Very handy things to have. I didn't slip over once.
Okay, well, I'm just resharing the YouTube link on Facebook to remind people that we're live now.
Okay, cool.
and then I'll reshare it on Twitter.
Okay. Let me just check my tablet. Has anyone guessed how much yet that I paid? Ben Stutley's coming in with a guess of 25 pence. It's not the correct figure. No. I'm not going to say higher or lower. I'm just going to say that no, 25 pence is not the correct figure. Try again. Come on, everyone can at least have one go. How much did I pay for the DVDs yesterday? Not in total. How much did I pay for each one? It's amazing. I'll tell you that much. And I bought how many? Let's see how I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, but
7,
Andrew, they don't
8,
have U.S. dollars there. They have the
9,
British pounds there. So
10. No, that's all right. 11.
yeah, Andrew's
12,
saying $100 each, and
13. I bought 13. If that helps anyone to come up with a figure. How much I paid for each one? Oh, it's too late, everyone. Jason's come in. Jason's come in with a remarkable 10 pence each.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Jason has taken the prize. I did indeed pay 10 pence each for the DVDs, and that works out at 12 cents US in US dollars. 12 cents. So yeah, 10p each. Well done, Jason. Well done. Yes, I was quite surprised. There was a cardboard sign that was pinned to the front of the DVDs, and it said 10 pence each, and I thought that can't be right. They've done that wrong. So I went to the cash register and I said to the lady there, "Is this right? The DVDs are 10 pence each?" And she said, "Yep." So I went back to the DVDs and selected loads of them. And then the second charity shop that I went into, that was just across the shopping centre, I went in there and the DVDs were 10 for £1, which works out. I didn't find 10 in there, so that works out at 10p each for those as well. So yeah, fantastic. What did I say earlier? 15, 17? I can't remember how many I said I bought now. But I bought quite a stack of DVDs, which I'll show a bit later. Yeah, Ben saying surely the raw materials are worth more than that. Probably, yeah. Yes, reading movies. It was the animal rescue place. They still had the 10 for £1, and the Priscilla Bacon charity shop has now reduced their prices from 50p each to 10p each. So that was great, and I was able to get some reasonably good films. They weren't all rubbish. There were some fairly good ones in there, and well, for 10p you can't really argue, can you? I mean, it's ridiculous how cheap that is. 12 cents for a whole movie. Really happy with some of those. What a result. Yes, Gerard, it was very good. Have you found anything really good in any thrift stores, Tim, where you live? Have you ever come across anything?
I don't go to thrift stores that often.
Ah, are they popular in the States where you are? Do they have
I
many?
don't know if they necessarily are here, but I do a lot of shopping online now because it seems like I can find more stuff online.
Yeah.
And I just don't get out to the stores that often anymore. I mean, I go to the grocery store. I go to grocery stores once or twice a month.
Uh-huh.
But all I can get usually at the grocery stores, like junk food or just regular food. I mean, sometimes I can get DVDs at the grocery store.
Do you have any stores near where you live, or do you, or are they all needing to be driven to? Is there stuff you can walk to nearby?
And mainly need to drive to places, and we've got Lester joining us. Hello, Lester.
Hey, you two.
Hey man, how's it going, dude?
Work is smooth. Can't complain. I got work to do.
Cool.
Not in a lull, so I'm not twiddling my thumbs. So I'm thankful for that.
Have you just joined the stream, or have you been listening from the start?
No, I just hopped on because I was waiting for the Disney earnings call, but they're just building up. They're just building up. Not into the call quite yet, but I don't. That stuff usually goes for like a couple of hours. I don't know. I'll probably
Okay,
catch the replay.
you probably. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I just said I was going to probably catch the replay more than any.
Oh, okay. Tim was explaining at the beginning of the stream that he's had a bad experience with Best Buy, that he ordered a couple of DVDs at the beginning of January and they never showed up.
Yeah,
I was
they seem to think that they got Yeah, they seem to think they got lost, so they refunded my money, and this is after I told them, okay, well, one of those DVDs is still available and you can still order it for me. They said that they were going to do that. They didn't. They just refunded both DVDs, and today it looked like they could still reorder one of the DVDs for me, and then they tell me, oh, we can't. Well, it's showing up on your website as still being available for shipping. I'll try adding it to the cart now, and just like they told me, oh, you can't add it to your cart, and now it's sold out. So thanks a lot, Best Buy.
Real quickly, Tim, did you have at one point have a Best Buy that was close to you geographically, physically?
I'd have to take a bus or take a car or be driven there.
And is that still the case? Because I know there was one Best Buy in my neck of the woods that, just like you, I just take a hop on a bus and I'm there, or I would have to walk a little bit. But that one in particular closed down probably 2 years ago, maybe longer ago. And so because of that, I would not, I don't have a reason to go to Best Buy, in all honesty.
Yeah, unless I'm buying a new computer or something else, there's no incentive to go there.
Right.
Unless I need the computer fixed.
Yeah.
Or I need a new computer.
Right.
There's no incentive.
No.
So I mean, Best Buy? Is it a discount store?
No, it's electronics. You might dub superstore. I don't know if it's superstore level, but it's supposed to be. It was a shop where you can get all your electronics, your computing, hardware, software, but also appliances, movies, music. It was like you would think of Circuit City of old. I don't know what would be an analog in your neck of the woods, Monkey Boy, but we have had a lot of these shops where people would have a superstore where you can buy almost every electronic you can get your hands on. TV, DVD, players, records, etc. But Best Buy, now that Walmart's entered the fray, it's almost like that's kind of like who they're in competition with each other, but now they're also in competition with Amazon, so that even makes it even less of an incentive for me to go to Best Buy. So I feel for Tim, because I've had bad shipping experiences, or bad delivery. Like there was a dude on Uber Eats that somehow didn't know how to get to my house, but I had to chalk it up as a loss because he even tried to call me, and I thought he understood where to get to me. So it's one of those things that we all roll the dice on. If I can,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Amazon pretty much will know how to get to your house. If it was
Sure.
Amazon, they usually know how to get here.
Right. It's just if I could do it and I can foot the bus trip, or if I take an Uber, they might, but if I could, I would order in-store pickup. If that's an option, that's what I would go with. Only because uh, shipping can be hit and miss. For me, it hasn't been often, but I know that some people have had incidents where packages were dropped off in the weirdest of spots, not even within a near proximity of their own house. Like my coworker had to go to some not too terribly distant, but basically he had to go away from his property, from his house, to some part of the road to get his package. You would think that delivery drivers would know how to do their jobs, but it's just such that
Yeah.
I found out that a friend got a package dropped off in front of his house that was stolen. Unfortunately, the package was for a pack of kids that he teaches for a local school in the area. So, just thinking, that's too bad. So it's just for things like that that if I could do it, I do my order with in-store pickup. It's I find that some charity shops charge too much for DVDs and Blu-rays when they get them. Well, the dynamic is, and here's where I'll say the reality is, the charity shops, depending on how they price items given to them, the margins should relatively be high. Now, on one end, they can say, well, yeah, that's pretty high margin because they're not really paying for anything for the procurement of the goods to sell. And at the same time, having worked retail, they need those margins to stay afloat. They need those margins so they can pay their workers. That's the tough reality of it, is that, I hear it from my mom all the time. You don't want to make those banks rich. I get her point, but at the same time, these banks have people to employ. That's the
Yeah.
other part. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's that.
Well, I think, I mean, charity shops in the UK, a lot of them have got wise now to the value of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the time was you could go in and find a vintage Star Wars figure for 50p.
Okay.
But now they do the homework and they get online and they check how much it's worth, and so you find that you'll be paying a lot more for stuff in charity shops now because they kind of do their homework. But when it comes to physical media, um, because people nowadays are streaming everything and buying stuff digitally, which, as Tim pointed out, is not owning the movie or the TV show. But because people are doing that now,
Yeah.
the physical media, the prices have really plummeted. And I wonder if they'll pick up again in a few years when people start to have that nostalgia for DVDs, and I wonder if there'll be a resurgence in the value of them, the same as with VHS. Because there was a time when you couldn't give VHSs away. I mean, I remember taking a big sports bag full of VHS tapes to my local charity shop and saying, "Oh, here you go. I bought some stuff," and they said, "We don't want them. We don't want them because nobody will buy them. They just take up too much space, and they're just we don't
That's
want
no
them."
Yeah.
excuse.
I
You're
know.
just coming up with excuses,
Yeah.
and it's
So I
it's
wanted
just
to say
bad
hello to.
business.
So I'm reading some of the comments, and apologies if I overlook some. So Dora, lovely, hello. Ben, hello. Andrew, I chuckle at your comment about must be the new school semester. So appreciate that. And then who else did I miss there? Yeah, I think I saw Gerard saying, "Sir Lester." Appreciate the informal knighting. Thank you. Let's
Um,
see.
Jason's saying that the British Heart Foundation is a good cause, but sometimes it's cheaper to get it new. Yeah, the British Heart Foundation are a funny one really, because they do price their stuff quite high, especially
Right.
stuff like furniture. They do tend to charge almost as much as you would be paying new. Um, but I also think they're very selective about what they take. They won't take any old rubbish. It has to be very good condition for them
Yeah.
to take it. Um, but there we go. That's the way of the world. I'm hoping that this decrease in the value of physical media will last a few more years until I've got a real big collection, and then and then if it goes up again, so be it. But I mean, yeah, my DVD collection has I've probably it's probably doubled in the last 2 years. Um, and same with my Blu-rays. I mean, I resisted Blu-rays for a very long time. It was only, I think, a couple of years ago I started buying Blu-rays, and I've got quite a lot of those now.
Nice.
Um, Adora's sending commiserations to Tim
Yep.
for his experience that he's had with Best Buy. That's a bit of a shame, but I guess they've lost your business now, Tim. They've lost your dollars.
They lost mine because I have, like he said, I don't have a reason. Like him, I don't have a reason. There isn't a reason for.
Yeah, because how often is somebody going to need to buy a new refrigerator?
Yeah.
They sell stuff like that. People aren't going to need one of those that often. And when it comes to watching like the Super Bowl, maybe like once a year, somebody will have to go down there right before the Super Bowl to buy a new big screen TV just to watch the Super Bowl on a big screen.
Yeah. No, it's just we have other options, like especially with Amazon and their shipping flexibility. And this has caused other carriers like FedEx and UPS and the post office being a little bit more lenient, because it used to be back in the day, about '07, when I had worked at a.com, if someone wanted a Saturday delivery, you had to pay extra for that. And Amazon kind of changed the game on that, where no, UPS and FedEx will deliver on Saturday if needed, So it's like, okay,
Hmm.
what if you want to buy a $4 candy bar? Oh, that is true. Over at well, I could always go to Target for. I can always go to Target. I can go to my nearby Dollar. I have a Dollar Tree. I have one of those dollar stores, but now it's $1.25. Thank you, inflation. But no, I have no reason. Even if they talk about the Best Buy outlet, which is a separate web site and page, um, they do have things on markdown, but the markdown isn't significant enough because of how if I'm looking for computer parts, my go-to has always been eBay. Oh, and that's just been developed over 20 years worth of purchasing on eBay. I know I'm going to usually get a used item. I know if I get a used item, it may not work out of the box, but believe it or not, most of my stuff being used, they still work. And I understand at some point they'll fail, probably sooner. And believe it or not, humorously, I still recollect to this day a drive I bought from eBay, brand new, lasted about 5 days. So it's just
Yeah,
one of those things
yeah.
where um, Best Buy doesn't have all the things I need. I have to go to certain websites, certain shops in order to get the part type I need, where I really need a specific type of hardware. If I need an album, I have other websites I've been going to. If I need Amazon is good for a lot of that stuff. Um, Best Buy announcing that they're not going to really concentrate on physical media or stocking it, where they're going to totally do away with it. That's another thing. I have a Walmart down the street from me that I can go to and just go, all right, I'm gonna go get this and that from a
And
Walmart. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and I noticed with like Walmart, even before they announced they were gonna like be expanding like physical media distribution, they had already cut back on it. They 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 sell hardly any CDs now. I think they brought in like maybe a few LP record albums, but like vinyl record albums, and then they took out one aisle of DVDs and just put a bunch of books there.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't know what they're gonna do now
yeah.
to fix that.
What
Yeah.
kind of books did they put there, Tim?
I think just like regular like hardback, paperback books.
Like fiction or?
Yes.
As far
Okay.
as the
Well, that's
question
quite
about,
surprising that they removed a bunch of physical media and then they put books in there, which is an even older form of media.
well,
I'm
I would
surprised that books are still a thing. To be honest, I thought books were going to die, and I'm really pleased that they haven't.
no
Because
because
I prefer to have actual copies of books as well. I don't have a Kindle or
Mhm.
anything like
no,
that.
and books still have resale value, probably more than physical media. I mean, like disc media, because there is still going to be a thing like disc rot. Now, I don't know between DVD and Blu-ray, 4K. I don't know if it's improved that much, but let's just say that I don't know if it was my dad's player, but I picked up some Blu-rays before I went to San Diego. I tried to play two of the Blu-rays I bought, and the player couldn't pick them up. Now that's
Really?
probably because they were used, and there were some blemishes on them, but disc rot is still a phenomenon. Whereas with paper books, hardback, paperback, if as long as they don't have rips in the pages and it's still intact, you can still get your money's worth. Maybe not like recouping 80%, 70%. Maybe you only recoup 30%, but that's still a lot better than a random disc.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I
Yeah,
think in a lot of cases it depends on what kind of
yeah,
paper the
yeah.
book was printed on. I mean, reading movies will be able to tell you all about this, because he's come across books that have almost start to crumble because of the
Right.
paper that they're printed on. Um,
Yeah,
so he's had some interesting experiences with books, but he's the guy who with the know-how about paper and stuff in print.
yeah,
So I would defer to him for that kind of knowledge. But um, yes, it can be frustrating to buy an old book, particularly one from the sort of 60s or 70s, and every time you turn a page, it comes out in your hands because the glue that's used to
yeah,
bind the pages in has dried and become useless. So
yeah.
yeah, it can be frustrating. I had a copy of The Exorcist,
Mm,
and it wasn't a first edition, but it was certainly a very old one. But every
right.
time I turned a page, it was coming off in my hands,
Hmm.
and I ended up with basically just a book where everything was loose inside. Um, so that was a pity.
So
Um,
I don't know where Ben is located, but at least in my neck of the woods in the Northwest, particularly Oregon, you'd have to do your research because not all e-waste places will take a lot of like broken electronics. You have to really look for what they will take. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Ben,
yeah,
I've never had any experience with trying to get rid of broken VHS tapes or
yeah,
recycling them. I think if they're broken in the past, all I could do is just throw them away in the garbage.
right.
That's all
yeah.
Yeah, it's that, and depending on what you're gonna put in those centers, batteries, I have looked at one and they're very particular. Like one I looked up years ago, they asked people to separate battery by chemistry. So alkaline versus lithium ion versus um, nickel
Wow.
cadmium, nickel metal hydride. So if you got So if you had one of those rechargeables, they have a different chemistry. I read that comment about fries, just kind of. I don't know how to feel. I'm a little indifferent because fries had all these horror stories about returns. So you're out of there really quick, but if you wanted to return something, you were in for a long line. You know.
Isn't
All
that
right.
the same just about anywhere though? If you have to
No,
return
fries
something,
had
you
a
have to make you.
notorious reputation because they were billed as like where you got your computer parts for cheap. That's what their calling card was for at least those in the computer building communities. So you get a motherboard, you get a processor on the cheap, or you get hard drives. It was good for that. Like, you know, if you like putting computers together, that was your jam. And you had to understand like this likely wasn't gonna there was a likelihood that out of the box you wouldn't have the most desirous experience. So a lot of people say, yeah, if you can foot the trouble of fries, go there. But you know, they usually located themselves in some weird podunk location that you had to make some effort to get out to. So it wasn't the most conveniently located place. They like situated themselves like on a freeway and like, oh, there it is, in some part of some weird shopping district that you had to go your ways. You got out of your way to get there. That was the main bugaboo about fries. The main advantage again, because it's a computer builder's paradise, is that you can get your parts without the retail box. If you get the part in a retail box, you pay like $20, $30 more for the part. But that's for reserved for places like Best Buy, for example. Best Buy didn't until recently. Only until recently did I see them stock maybe one or two items in what is called OEM, where all you had the part in a static bag. But that was Fry's calling card. But I don't miss Fry's. I their model seemed a little wonky to start. That's
I think they were kind of expensive too, weren't they?
no, depends on what you wanted. And yeah, like Best Buy, they had the snacks by the register. That was the other thing about them too, is that you can go to Fry's, you can, you know, as you're getting to as you're checking out for your computer parts or whatever appliance. Oh yeah, there's a snack, soda, and so on. So every store is like that. I don't know if there's a retail specific term for it, but it's like those aisle items that you go and check out. Like, oh, let's get this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the video stores, the
yeah,
video rental stores used to do that, where it was like the movie theater where they sell you those little boxes of candy. It was something like that.
I had a service digitize old movies from the 70s. Yeah, I used to do that back when I was into capturing, and the technology was crappier than the technology we had.
Yeah,
If
but
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, 3/4 inch video is better quality than a VHS. Is often that is used on DVDs.
Okay.
You'll get a sharper picture with the 3/4 inch video master compared to a VHS master.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes that with standard definition DVDs, if they didn't have any film elements for something, they had to use just a 1 inch or 3/4 inch videotape
Yeah,
master.
I used to do that when I was heavy into capturing. If I were to do it again, I would just go, okay, because I know I need to get a new capture card, and then I used to go to one and forward them all the DVDs I bought over the years. Yeah, I would go and get a cassette player, VHS player, and then I would get all the hookups I need to tie into my capture card and start transcribing VHS and make it available to whoever I felt like wanted to make it available. Still have the old VHS and CRT. Nice. So
Hello,
Nicole,
hello, Soda. I'm not sure if
yeah,
I said hello to you. I didn't see you in the chat. Hey, man, how's it going? He had an old VHS and a
yeah.
cathode ray TV. Cool. Yeah. I remember those big old heavy TVs. They took up half of your living room.
Yep.
Yeah, I ended up taking all my unwanted VHSs to the local dump because there
Oh,
was
okay.
no one would take them. And
Yeah.
it's really frustrating because I must have just dumped, I don't know, 100 maybe. I don't know how many,
Ooh.
but quite a lot. And then obviously several years later, you see the same ones coming up on eBay for, decent money. And I think if I'd have kept them, I could have sold them all for, a reasonable amount. But I didn't know that at the time, and I couldn't. Like I said, I couldn't even give them to the charity shops. They didn't want to take them.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, so I think the same thing is going to happen to DVDs. They're selling them for 10p at the moment, but
Mm.
in a few years' time, I reckon some of those films are going to be big money again. I mean, already there are some films that are very expensive to buy on DVD. I'd like to get a copy of Bad Taste on
Mm.
DVD, but I haven't been able to find one that's a reasonable price. It's Monkey. It's Christmas.
Hi.
And
Hey, man.
it's weird seeing a blue colored Santa hat. Used to seeing a red and white Santa hat.
Yeah, I think
Well,
you had a green one on last week, didn't you? Was it that one?
Well, you're unhappy, Tim, so I'm honoring you.
Okay.
Oh, blue, being blue.
Yeah, well, that reminded me that I had this as the video thumbnail. I'd gotten Marvel Legends Crystar action figure,
Oh, cool.
and he's all blue colored because he's like made out of he's supposed to be like a being made out of crystal.
That's cool. I don't know much about Chris Starr actually. I never watched the cartoon.
Well,
don't
it
really
never
know much
had a
about it.
cartoon. It was a comic book created by Marvel Comics in the early
Oh.
80s, but they never made a cartoon of it. But before
Oh.
there was even the comic book, they came up with the character and they licensed it out to Remco, the toy company, and had like an action figure line, but that action figure line didn't do too well, so it didn't last long.
Oh, so they never made a cartoon then. So I guess the
No,
stills and stuff that I've seen have been from a comic book then.
I think they're either just the commercials for it or just comic book
Aha. Okay.
like drawings. It
Oh,
it lasted for like maybe 11 or 12 issues. So it wasn't a really long-term comic book. It was
Oh,
just
right.
a really short-term comic book series. So it was more like a mini series of comic books than just a serialized like.
So did Chris Starr appear with
Superhero.
any other Marvel characters?
I don't think so, but this includes a Build-A-Figure part to this monster called Marvel's the Void. So 5 of these other like figures, each one comes with a part.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me go solo. I don't know if you can see that image of that monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple parts to that monster comes in packed with Crystar, and then you get another part with let's see, there's Vision, and then there's Nemor and Namorita, but Black Panther doesn't have a part, and then the New Warriors Justice comes with a part, and then Squadron Supreme Power Princess, who looks like Snyderverse Wonder Woman. She comes with a part to this monster that you can build.
I find it very strange that Black Panther doesn't have a part.
But these are like $25 action figures. They're 6 inches, so these are $25 a pop.
Uh-huh.
So these are not cheap.
No. No.
And I first found out about this figure when they had the prototype at San Diego Comic-Con. I wasn't there, but I had watched YouTube videos of it, and Pixel Dan had went there, and Hasbro let Pixel Dan play with the prototype figure they had of this.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Where did you get it? Where did you get it from? Was that an eBay job or?
No, Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
Because
Okay.
eBay sellers, they want like $40.
Wow.
So I'll be opening him up at some point.
I don't know what happened to you, Tim, but may I tell you what I'm currently experiencing?
Yes.
Well, I purchased something on the 31st, and I mean, only a couple days ago did I get sent that the seller sent a tracking number, but the seller hasn't even delivered the item to the post office yet. So, and the item was ordered by me on the 31st of last month, and the eBay seller still hasn't sent it. Only a couple days ago did they send the tracking number, but it says that they're waiting for the item to arrive at the facility. So it's like the seller is being so slow about it, and this is the first time I've ever experienced that, where the seller is not sending the item when they're supposed to, and I'm still waiting for them to take it to the post office.
Yeah, well, it's not that type of situation. I ordered 2 DVDs from Best Buy's website at the start of January. They mailed them out. They gave me the tracking number. Then I kept getting tracking updates up through the 11th of January, and on the 11th of January, it said it was in transit to the next facility. Then I just keep getting told that, and then they say on the website, oh, your items are delayed. And then I contact customer service on their little chat, instant messenger chat, and they tell me, oh, well, likely your items have been lost. So we'll refund you. No, I want my items. Just reorder them. They tell me, oh, we can't reorder them for you. They're not available. And I pointed out to them, well, this DVD, at least one of them, is available. You can reorder it for me. Refund me the other one, even though I still want the DVD, but you sold out of it and you're not going to carry physical media anymore, so screw that. They told me, or made me think, that they were going to reship the other DVD because they still had it in stock. They didn't. Instead, I get like multiple emails this morning saying that they refunded both DVDs instead of only refunding the one they couldn't get. They refunded both. I was in their little instant messenger chat with customer service, who couldn't understand the problem and just kept sending me to another customer service rep and to another one and another one, and it was going over an hour this morning, taking forever. And then they couldn't reorder the other DVD, and I tried to add it to my cart. It said it couldn't be added, and then I check and it says sold out. So that's it. I'm not dealing with them ever again when it comes to physical media. If they want to bring physical media back in their stores, maybe I will buy it physically in a store, but I'm not ordering physical media from them ever again. That is just bad That's just bad customer service right there.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, Tim. I chose my hat wisely, as I dedicate me wearing this hat to Tim. May his buying get better in the future. And Monkey Boy, what film of the Hellraiser series is the most similar to your toy collecting?
I think I want to say, what on earth are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah. We don't understand why you're just bringing up. Oh, he's got the DVD double feature of Hellraiser. Looks like
That's Hellraiser and Bloodlines, isn't it? The second one.
It's Hellraiser 3 plus I can't read that other one, it's too dark.
I think that's Bloodlines, isn't it, Monkey?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's awful.
So what part is Bloodlines? Is that the remake?
No, that's part 4.
Okay, so it's just parts 3 and 4. It's not. I thought maybe when I saw Pinhead on the first one, I thought that was the original, and I thought I thought that Bloodlines was the remake.
Well, that image that's on the front there, on the left, under Hellraiser 3, that is the image from Hellraiser 1. So they're using the promo still from Hellraiser 1. That's not from Hellraiser 3. But Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 are all pretty good. I've got a lot of time for those. Some people didn't really like 3 very much, but I thought it had some good moments. I thought it was pretty cool. Obviously, the first one is great. The second one I wasn't so keen on, but it was okay. But I did enjoy 3. I'd quite happily have 1, 2, and 3. I don't think I own 2 and 3. I've just got the first. Oh, actually, no, I've got a box set. But I can't remember how many are in it. I don't know if I can see it from here, so I can't tell.
Well, why the third one is special is because it is called Hell on Earth, and it's when he ends up making Cenobites that look most like kind of toy figures. I mean, he uses what's on Earth, like this guy that uses a tape recorder to he turns him into kind of like a cyborg, like a combination of his video recorder and that with like and he makes another one that uses CDs. He turns him into a So it really feels like a action figure type film out of the entire.
Yeah, I can see what you're getting at. Yeah, I thought the character designs in the third film were very good.
Yeah, and Monkey Boy, you were telling me that Grand Inquisitor Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi action figure that could probably be like customized into a Cenobite.
Yeah, he looks very Cenobite-y. I liked his character design. I thought he looked pretty cool. You'd only have to add a couple of a few bits of barbed wire through his face, and yeah, he'd be a Cenobite.
But the Cenobite in the third one, oh, she remember, she's the dreamer. Her ability is to dream.
Can't remember.
She was the one that was she was the one that was supposed to be sacrificed to Pinhead, but she turned the tables and got the other guy sacrificed instead.
Oh yeah,
and so she got turned into the Cenobite. She's my favorite.
Okay, is that where they're in the where they're in the bedroom and that thing and the tower thing is spinning around in their bedroom? Is that the bit?
Ooh.
Is this in the original movie or?
No, that's in number 3. Have you seen the original one, Tim?
I saw the original on basic cable a number of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
No,
on a different note, you won't believe what I got that took me forever to find. So I know what it's like, Tim, to take forever to get what you're after. And yes, I'm still waiting on something else that had said it was in transit, but then it just like mysteriously stopped. But this I was able to get, and I was so happy.
what is it?
I think that's Ernest Goes to Camp.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
He was this actor that was in all these commercials, and he had like a Saturday morning series, but he died a number of years back. I think he died of cancer.
It was so easy for many years to find this on DVD only. Do you remember, Tim, that it was like impossible to find it on Blu-ray for like a decade?
I don't know really. I remember when it first came out to home video on VHS. So it's one of those ones I know from the days of VHS rentals. I'm not as familiar with the DVD edition.
Is it like a family sort of comedy or something, or?
Yeah, here, I'll turn around.
Yeah, it's more of an American like film franchise, so I don't.
Is that a squirrel?
Yeah, that's a squirrel. Like, looks like a squirrel.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But for the longest time, it was so hard to come by on Blu-ray. You could only find it on DVD. And then as soon as I got on Blu-ray, it became really hard to find. So
is
I was
it like a slapstick kind of comedy thing? It reminds me of something like that Chevy Chase would do, or something like Caddyshack or something like that.
yeah. He's kind of like if Chevy Chase had a stroke but continued acting.
Excellent. Hey, Delvian,
Okay,
thanks for stopping by, man.
night, Delvian. And Andrew saying I bought an early HD TV, and they even took it back when they first rolled them out. Some of us dummies didn't realize we wouldn't get signal in HD, so the TV didn't work.
Oh. Okay.
And Gerard saying, "Hey, Delvian, enjoy your slumber." And Ben Stutley saying, "Reading movies." Andrew, hi, and or saying, or maybe he's saying, yeah, I guess he's saying hi to all three of them, and hi to Slaughter Cauldron. He's saying, I still have my VHS running, or my VCR running, and all my old tapes too, not getting rid with these. I just don't want to put that much plastic in the landfill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then I'll tell you something sad that's happening over here. People not wanting to put plastic in the landfill, but they're not buying Funkos and all the other stuff. The Funko company is losing
all of
money.
us like Funkos, though. It's not something that not everybody is into. I know Retro Blasting, he does not care for Funkos, and I cannot blame him. They just make a lot of like pop culture like franchises look way too cute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just
Yeah. I get it.
It's just something. It's just something. It's just when Funko Pops are just something that I think we could do without.
Yep. Talk about
Yeah, they
wasted
certainly
investment.
are. They are everywhere.
Wasted investment, and
Um,
they've made so much excess because they oversupplied in a non-existent demand, or at least a exhausted demand. Like they had so much in excess. Like, what are we gonna do with these extra Funkos? How about putting them in some wasteland? But anyway, I
I
yeah, go ahead.
now that you mention it, I actually do agree with you because what happened with me is I was getting so many, I got burned out. I was noticing, I was like, you're using the same sculpt for like 6 that I already own, and I'm noticing more and more. It, it, I agreed to him. They just kept seeming like for example, take the Agatha Harkness one for for example, she was supposed to be this evil creature, this evil witch, but her Funko, uh, yeah, her Funko looks like she's just like this shelter lady that has a huge collection of cats.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
they made a Funko Pop of Alex from A Clockwork Orange. It makes him look like just this cute little cartoon character. He's
Uh-huh.
not supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's Malcolm McDowell. The guy is a freaking weirdo. Jeez.
and then Funko would not even do a exorcist where her head spinned around. I kept waiting. They for years have had the one where like her face is all weird, but they will not give us that movie moment. So they don't give us the iconic moments we want. They give us like I was excited when they first announced they were going to give us the character from Jurassic Park, the one that uh did the computers, but then
Yeah.
to find out they released him in the yellow coat and the dinosaur, but they were not going to release him at his computer for a Funko movie moment. And to this day, 5 years later, they still did not give us that moment. The only outfit his character is in that yellow raincoat, which you only see him in when he dies by the raptor. Or no,
Yeah,
by that other
but
creature.
I would say that's probably his defining moment in the film, though, isn't it, Nedry?
Well, not really, because remember he even after he dies, there's something on the computer screen that goes
Yeah.
and it's been referenced. That moment has been referenced in TVs and film, but the raptor his death was never referenced, not once. So I don't think it was a memorable moment because even last year I found a scene where they had changed like the computer password and you had a character going uh 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 uh. So yeah,
Oh, what's Tim got?
so I
You got
understand
that
Tim.
Bride of, what have you got, Tim? Bride of Frankenstein?
And Frankenstein's monster. This was when Funko Pops teamed up with Super 7 and they made these Universal Classic Monsters action figures in the same scale as Star Wars action figures. So
Yeah.
that was one thing I could get behind that Funko did.
Right.
But then Super 7 is not that great of a company. But when they team up with another company, they seem to do a bit better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're nice figures, those.
Yes. And the Dracula and the Phantom of the Opera ones, they come with the vinyl capes, like a vintage Star Wars Darth Vader or Obi-Wan Kenobi did.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But do you want to catch up on the chat?
Yep. Have we missed stuff? Do you want to go back and pull anything up, or do you want me to just do it on my tablet here?
I've got it. I've got one thing pulled up that if you don't mind reading.
Yeah. Soda Cauldron is saying a lot of his old tapes had the white mold on after a long time in the attic, but he ran it through a VHS player and just kept cleaning the heads inside the player with isopropyl alcohol. Okay, yeah. I've seen that kind of white mold on tapes a couple of times. I guess it was if they're kept in places like attics and stuff where the temperature fluctuates between very hot and very cold. I guess that mold can build up on the tape surface. Krista.
That's a comic book image of him.
Andrew's saying that he likes to call Krista Cry Star.
No, it's Crystar as in crystal.
Yeah, I think he's joking.
Yeah, he's a warrior made out of crystal.
Soda Cauldron's saying hello to me. Hello, Soda. Let's have a look. What else have we got?
Issue number 2.
What does this mean, Tim? Reading Movies is saying if studios keep pushing streaming and DRM, then we will see many physical media becoming sought after, especially if studios go down the censorship route for streaming. I don't know what DRM is.
DRM is digital rights management. So basically,
what does that mean?
That basically means, at least in the streaming landscape, as long as you pay for the subscription, you have a login, and you can get into the account, you have the right to view that video. And if you have the right browsing software and the right operating system, then you definitely will have the privilege of watching whatever that provider gives you. Yeah.
Interesting fact, DRM happens to be my initials. What issue is that you're showing us, Tim?
This is the first issue of Crystar.
Cool.
The very first issue of the comic book. I got it for $9.90. No, I think I just have like 2 or 3. It was like $9.95 from a comic book seller on eBay.
Okay. Cool.
This was back in the heyday of Marvel Comics when they actually sold you good comic books and they weren't woke.
Oh, cool. Oh, it's good that you got the first issue.
Yeah, I've got issues 1 and 2, and
Andrew's saying that the comic books have very striking covers.
I thought I had the third issue. Maybe it's just the first 2 I own. I've got a couple other like sword and sorcery type comics. Yeah, I've got this issue of Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, cool.
Issue 104. And
nice.
Yeah, I've got the second issue of Crystar.
Okay.
And then I've got issue number 1 Marvel Comics, Edgar Rice Burroughs' Warlord of Mars from the 70s, from the year I
Oh.
was born.
That's from 77?
Yeah.
Wow.
King size annual Marvel Comics book or group. This was 50 cents right when it came out, and it cost me $9.95.
Wow.
I think that's it. I thought I had bought the third issue per star, but maybe I only got the first two. I thought I had 3 of them. That's all I could find over here. Finding like, oh yeah. Or wait a minute. No. What's it? Did I buy two? Yeah, something's funny here. I thought, what is this?
Yeah, that's issue number 1 of Crystar.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Issue number 2. Yeah, maybe. I guess that's all I've got. It's just these 4. That's all I could find.
Hmm.
Finding lots of baggy comic book or magazine or movie poster baggies, but I'm not finding anything else that's got actual comics in them.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought I had bought first 3 issues, but I don't know. I'm not finding anything else.
Oh. I'd like to have a Supergirl issue 1. That would be good, but I don't imagine I'll ever get that. I've got a lot of Supergirl comics, but they're not the early ones. They're kind of the mid age ones.
And I got a custom Obi-Wan Kenobi Death Star duel action figure that I bought from the Next 17. He comes with the lightsaber. So he's got the hood. He's got his hood on. So it's just like,
I am a master. You're only a master of evil, Darth.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So it's just from his final duel with Darth Vader before Darth Vader hits him.
Yeah.
He disappears, and all that's left of him is his cloak.
Uh-huh.
You will overwhelm, but I am the master. You're only the master of evil, Darth.
Cool.
And I got this cool little card from Next 17. I think Next 17 sent this. It has Empire Strikes Back advertised on one side, and then Revenge of the Jedi on the other one.
Oh, cool.
When it was still called Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
But then George Lucas said, "Oh, well, Jedis don't seek revenge, so it'll be Return of the Jedi."
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, have you ever thought about trying to track down one of those posters?
Maybe.
Well, you were talking about attractive figures. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got Wolverine not too long ago. I don't know if I showed him off.
I don't think you have shown him on the channel yet.
Yeah, this was the last one I got of these because I didn't have this guy. And then
Pretty good figure, bub.
I got some more Star Wars action figures. Let's see. I got the Empire Strikes Back R2D2 with sensor scope
Oh, cool.
in the vintage collection,
Yeah,
and
he's cool.
I got on the Return of the Jedi card back. I got the Imperial Gunner from Death Star Gunner.
Yeah.
So I've
cool.
almost got this full wave of figures.
Okay.
I've got the Gunner, I got 2 of the Stormtrooper, and then I've got R2D2, and I ordered the 2 Bespin security guards.
Okay.
The interesting fact is that, remember your Ren figure, she's in a runner outfit, right?
Ren figure.
In the Rogue Star Wars story.
Do you mean the Jin figure?
Yeah.
I've got Jen Urso. She's like in a disguise. She comes with the Imperial. She's got a mask.
Yeah, but the helmet's
I think
kind of the
I think
same,
I've got
right?
that, actually. I think I've got that one.
Well, you told me you didn't like this one, Monkey Boy, because you didn't understand why she came with this weapon.
Oh yeah. I didn't agree. Oh no, I haven't got that one then. If that's the one with the big weapon. Sorry, I couldn't see with the glare on it. Yeah. I mean, the weapon seems a bit odd, an odd choice, because obviously she didn't have that in the movie. Now the one I've got, she has the 2 batons. But she's in the same outfit. I think mine was the I've forgotten what it's called now. The ones that would interact with the wrist item. I can't remember what they're called now. The talking ones, or not
The
talking ones.
comlink.
But that's it. Yeah. I think it's the comlink one that I've got. I've got a comlink as well somewhere. I've never used it. It's still in the box, but I do have one somewhere.
Yeah, and I got the rest. Got a few more of the bad guys that I didn't have, because I had gotten a bunch of those Jabba the Hutt denizens. So I got Barada, who's now called Kit Haba.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Kith Abba, or I think it's Kit Haba. But he's called Barada in the original movie.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why they had to change his name, because Barada sounds fine.
Then I got Saltaire Mare, who was originally called Yak Face.
Oh yeah.
And he's got the actual cloth goods, like vest or a jacket.
Cool. I've got 3 of those in the Power of the Force range. I've got the standard one, the holographic card one, and then the freeze frame version.
Yeah, I got 2 of the Power of the Force 2 ones, and then I've got the Stan Solo recreation of the Kenner original.
Okay.
Which I think originally came on a tri-logo card overseas.
Okay, yeah.
And then I've got Admiral Piet, who was in both Empire Strikes Back and in Return of the Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
But I never got.
Is he the guy that got promoted because Darth Vader choked out his predecessor?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't. I'm not sure, but
You are correct. But the sad thing is, they didn't show him on screen long. All they did was, after the one got choked out, you saw him looking like his head's on screen and his mouth is open, like he just saw the most horrific thing in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, a lot of these, like, I think maybe these images they've been using are from deleted scenes.
Yeah, because there was a deleted scene where that scene lasted longer, where he was looking at the one that got killed in horror, and George Lucas was like, I don't want to focus on what he does. He wants to get back to business. We need to show what's going to happen next. So he cut out the deleted scene where the one that used to have the one that has his job now looks at his dead body in horror. That he was like, it's an action film, not a horror film. So they cut it out.
So tell me, Tim, when you open these figures, do you cut the bubble from the card, or do you just rip it off?
Sometimes I try. I think I usually try to cut it. I mean, I would
Rip it off when I was a kid, but sometimes
Yeah.
I have these.
Speaking of cutting off,
yeah, I have these incidents where
That's an awful film, Monkey.
It fell off. This fell off right when I pulled it out of the package.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a nice card back, though.
He's
cool.
in
Do you try to keep card backs as well?
Yeah, I try to hold on to him.
Yeah, but she would make a wonderful figure, don't you agree, Monkey?
I mean, I guess so. But that was a real misfire, that film.
Yeah, but if it's I really liked it because it was really unique. It didn't go the same route as the TV series. It did what in Hollywood they don't do very much, which is they gave her a unique and original tale. And I thought it was really interesting because when you think about it, 2 years previously, we had Spider-Man, and even though, yes, we had Tobey Maguire, it was so true to the comics that this one, it was nice to see them go a different route. And you get to see the guy from, number one, you get to see Halle Berry play basketball, which I don't think we've.
Monkey, you're dropping out.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening with your connection.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go for a little bit, but may I address something that was mentioned in the chat?
Okay.
It was someone asked about if anyone's seen Dark City, and I love Dark City. I own it on Blu-ray. I wanted to get a 4K edition, and it's simply the best film that feels like if the it really feels like if that who's the artist that did Spawn?
McFarlane.
Yeah, it feels something like he would do, but I'll just put me on mute for a bit because I gotta go do something. But I'll be back. But yeah, someone asked in the chat if anyone's seen Dark City, and I love it. I think it's the perfect representation to if all of our figures really did come alive, what world we would build for it, the figures. But I gotta go.
Yeah, you better lay down.
You've got a hungry goose you need to feed.
And I've got the Blu-ray of the director's cut.
Oh, cool. Cool. Is the director's cut very different to the theatrical cut?
Theatrical cut is R.
Oh.
Okay.
The extended version is not rated.
Oh, okay, I'll have to look at trying to get that. Maybe that's it's quite an unusual film, isn't it? let's shall I just quickly catch up with the chat?
Yeah, I'm going
Let's-
through them, and Andrew
let's
was
have a look.
saying, as Tim said, which movies? If you mean the movies that I ordered from Best Buy, one was the Disney live action movie, The Cat from Outer Space. The other movie was 70s drive-in comedy called Dixie Dynamite.
Andrew's saying that Neil Adams drew some nice Supergirl covers back in the day. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Don't think I've got a pen here to write that down with. No, I haven't. Okay. Oh, Dean's here. Hello, Dean. Sorry, we're a bit behind on the chat. Thanks for joining us, Dean.
Hey, Dean.
Dean from All Things 80s, and he's saying the geezer that does the next 17 wasn't happy with him. He asked for an honest review, and all Dean said was that they're nice, but they don't quite fit in with the Kenner figures. Yeah, I mean, you didn't say anything bad about the figures. In fact, you were very complimentary about the figures and said they were very nice.
Yeah, the next
so-
17 guy, Graham, he just had. I think it's just his sense of humor is just kind of strange.
Oh, okay.
He just has a strange sense of humor, and just the way he responds.
Okay.
He might just be being a little bit sarcastic. He just has a strange sort of sarcastic humor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't think he was very happy with Dean either. But
well,
yeah.
I don't know if it was so much that, but he might just be getting butt hurt over some people that weren't happy with his Cantina figures. I thought the figures were fine. I did not expect them to look like modern day Star Wars action figures. I think they look good enough to be vintage Kenner, and they came with the cloth goods like the 1985 Power of the Force era figures had. So
yeah,
I don't see what the problem is if you're expecting like modern vintage collection with the super articulation and super movie accurate. Well, then they're probably not for you.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I thought the last 17 figures were nice, but I do tend to agree that they didn't quite fit in with the Kenner stuff. But I mean,
they fit in with the Kenner stuff. It's just they don't fit in with the Hasbro stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure my opinion really counts because I don't have many Kenner Star Wars figures anyway.
Well, you've got Bib Fortuna. You've got and he came with the cloth goods.
He did, yeah. I've got one or two of him. Right, let me. I'm going to scroll right the way back, Tim, and catch up on all this chat because there's been lots of stuff. So I'll go right back and I'll just whiz through it as quickly as I can. Andrew's saying about the Crystal comic books having very striking covers. Yep. And he's also saying that Crystal was probably the most popular figure in the wave that you showed us, Tim. Ben is asking.
Ben Stetley, what is wrong? He's saying that was unfortunate timing, bringing up my half-hour-old comment while the monkey was talking. Wasn't my intention. I'm feeling bad now.
I don't know. We'll get to that in a second. It might make more sense in a minute. Hang on. Ben a while ago was asking to see the 10p DVD haul. Okay, well, when I get to the end of the chats, I'll show the DVDs that I bought for 10p. Let's have a look. Andrew asks me. He says, I have a lot of DVDs. Do you rewatch stuff a lot? If so, what do you rewatch? I do rewatch stuff. Yeah. I'll give you a little list of the things that I do tend to watch over and over again. Lost Boys, Ghostbusters, The Thing, Gremlins, The Howling, Commando. Yeah, I do rewatch a lot of stuff. I've probably I probably end up rewatching stuff more than new stuff. To be honest, I've probably got about 200 or 300 DVDs movies that I haven't even watched yet. But sometimes I'll just fancy something familiar, so I'll chuck on the Lost Boys or something like that. So yeah, I do tend to rewatch stuff. Jason's saying something about a chocolate egg. Oh yeah, and he's saying he doesn't want to eat a chocolate egg at this time of night, so he's going to eat it tomorrow. Andrew says that Cenobite sounds like a snack-sized cinnamon treat. New from Auntie M's, try our Cinnobites. Jason's asking about Dark City. Yep. Andrew is saying that chocolate is one of his weaknesses.
Mine too.
Andrew points out that Jim Varney was the actor that was being discussed, and he also voiced Slinky Dog in the Pixar Toy Story movies. I haven't seen those, so I don't know who that is. Andrew's saying there are a few Ernest movies, but they've generally faded from memory. Okay. Ben is asking Jason if Dark City is worth checking out. Yeah, I would say so. It's a very it's not very peculiar, but it is it's a dark film, no pun intended, and it is very odd. It features Richard O'Brien is in that film, and he's very peculiar as always. Soda's asking how many Funko Pops there are, presuming thousands. Yep. TJC, hello man. Sorry I didn't see you popping in the chat there. Hi TJC, thanks for joining us. Reading Movies saying that Funko Pops looked ugly to him, and the look of them is getting boring. So he's agreeing basically with what Tim said earlier on, that the look of them is all the same. And I guess they are very cutesy, aren't they? Let's have a look. Andrew's saying that he thinks that he wouldn't be surprised if there were over 100,000 Funko Pops. I'm not sure how many there actually are. I'd be interested to find out if anyone can Google how many Funko Pops there are. Chuck it in the comments so that we can see how many there actually are. Okay, we're getting there. Andrew says he has a few Funko Pops and a Mighty Mug and a Spider-Man, Mr. Potato Head. Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, the monkey. I've got that one too. I don't know. I don't know if you put yours into a black colored case or it's just dark. I guess it's just darker in the room you're in than my living room.
That's a blue one. That's a blue one.
Yeah, it just looked kind of darker colored because the lighting's different in his house than in mine.
Andrew says he's guessing that my initials stand for the Ravishing Monkey Boy. Close. You've got none of three right, but close. Let's have a look. Andrew's saying he's got some birthday books that have his birthday month from the year he was born. I think I had one of those when I was a kid, actually. Let's have a look. Is that Adora saying apologies for disappearing? For some reason I can't see the name on here. It's just coming up as a load of boxes with X's in. I think that looks like Adora's picture. My eyes are terrible and my screen is very small.
You okay, the monkey?
Andrew is saying that Supergirl issue 1 is not too expensive if you don't mind a worn copy. Well, I'd prefer a nice copy, but I will look into that. I've forgotten the name of the person you said that drew some nice covers. I've forgotten it already. I knew I should have gone and grabbed a pen to write that down. Ben is saying that because my initials are DRM, you have to guess what they stand for. Well, you'll never get the last one, but you could probably get the first two quite easily. Jason hasn't bought any of the last 17 yet. TJC saying hi to Andrew and Dean. TJC is saying cheers to Adora. Cheers to Adora. Andrew saying something about cheese, which is confusing me. Let's have a look. Let's Adora's saying that she likes figures with soft goods, and she loves mixed media figures. Yeah, me too. I do like that. That's why the Origins, my favorite Origins figure is She-Ra, because of the mixed media. I think she looks really good. I wish I had a loose one, actually. Maybe I should look into getting myself a loose She-Ra figure, because I really do like that one. That's my favorite in the Origins line. Dean saying that he thinks Monkey may have had a turtle's head. Yep, we will never know. It's a mystery. Gerard saying hi. Dean saying hi back. We're almost there, guys. Oh, I see. Ben was just apologizing that he'd made that comment that was brought up sort of half an hour late while the monkey was talking. No problem. That's fine.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, and I'm not happy with the way he commented. It
No,
looks
that's fine,
like
Tim.
he was
Good.
It looked like he was chewing me out from the way he was commenting, and I don't appreciate that.
No, that isn't the case. That isn't the case, Tim. I think it was just a coincidence that his comment came up at the wrong time. I think it made sense at the time, but it was just a bit late.
Okay, well.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. Trust me. Dean saying that the last 17 figures have a bit of a Fisher Price look about them. And the finish is completely different to the Kenner figures because they're 100% painted. So yeah, I can see that. I can see the difference there. Or a slightly different quality.
Okay, you were buffering. You buffered out for a second.
Sorry, man.
Monkey boy.
Okay. I'm not sure where I got to.
Yeah, well, it's raining really hard outside my house, so I don't know if that's interfering with StreamYard, or I don't know how the weather is where you are in the UK.
Nope.
Ben is saying Delbert Reginald Marblethwaite, which is a delightfully bonkers thing to say. Andrew is saying he doesn't know if Skeletor will approve if I get a loose She-Ra figure. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Who cares what Skeletor thinks? Oh wait, never mind.
Adora says, and I actually agree with this. She says she loves the Origins She-Ra, but she wishes that she had realistic hair that you can comb. Yeah, that really would be the icing on the cake. If the Origins She-Ra had realistic hair, that would be absolutely fantastic. And Ben's just confirming to you, Tim, that wasn't his intention.
Okay, because I'm just not.
He's pulling the sad face.
I just have not been in a good mood today, let alone this week.
It's all good, Tim. That was just a misunderstanding. Don't worry. Okay, so we've got to the end of the chat, and it's time for me to show my 10p film purchases that I bought. There are quite a few of them, so I won't hang about too long.
There's been a lot of demand to see your DVDs.
Remember, guys, these cost me 10p each.
Yeah.
which is 12 cents. Now, Tim, do stop me if there's any of these films here that you've seen and you want to make a comment on. And indeed, Lester or Monkey, if you want to comment on any of these films, please do stop me. But don't dick around, because I'm going to whiz through them fairly quickly, because there are quite a lot of them. First one, Family Guy season 2, because I didn't own it. I have a lot of the other seasons, but I didn't have number 2, so I picked that one up. Next up is a film that I actually watched yesterday, and I do have something to say about this actually. It was Battleship. Now, quite bizarrely, it says in the credits that this is based on the Hasbro game Battleship. Well, apart from the name Battleship, and one scene in it where they're trying to shoot missiles at the alien crafts, and they're giving the coordinates on a grid like F21
Yeah,
or whatever.
I'm kind of glad I skipped that movie altogether when it came out.
It was okay. It was okay. There were some good explosions. There were a lot of explosions. It wasn't the worst film I've seen, but I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that it's based on the Hasbro game. Very peculiar.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
like
It wasn't.
like the game. Did anybody sink their battleship?
Oh yes, yeah. There were lots of stuff. There was lots of stuff getting sunk. There was one in particular where one of the destroyers got sunk, and I actually had to rewind and watch it about 3 times because it was really cool. The way one of these ships was destroyed, it was really good. Lots of big bangs, and it wasn't terrible. Rihanna shouldn't have been in the film. I don't know why she was in it. Bit of a waste of a character. They could have done a lot more with her. All she did was
Xantara.
follow orders and run about. What Xantara said.
She said, "What's next? Connect for the movie."
Hey,
Well, we've had Clue the movie.
You say that, Xantara, but
There's been Clue the movie. Now there's Battleship the movie. So why not?
stranger things have happened. Mr. Pop the movie, Kaplunk the movie. Who knows? But anyway, so I watched Battleship yesterday, and it wasn't terrible. I did kind of enjoy it in a way. I mean, it was very silly, but I didn't hate it. Anyway, moving on. Next film I picked up, which I think I already own, but I bought it again anyway because it was 10p, and I couldn't remember if I had it, was X-Men Origins Wolverine. I have seen it before. It's not the best by any means, but
the worst Deadpool. The worst Deadpool.
Yes, yeah. But I don't remember if I have this already. I couldn't remember when I was in the shop. So I figured for 10p I would buy it anyway, and if I've already got it, then I'll just take it back to the store, to the charity shop, and give it back to them. It's no problem. So yeah, I'm aware that it's not the best X-Men film, but for 10 pence, I mean, it's fine, isn't it? So I've got a really itchy nose. The next one I bought was was this a 2-disc? No, it's a 1-disc, but it's the special edition of the Romeo and Juliet movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
Yeah, now, that's the modern day one. It's all weird.
I love it.
It is weird.
No,
it's weird hearing them speaking Shakespeare.
It is.
Yeah, modern.
What I like, there's one thing I do like about this movie, which I'll tell you in a second. But I'll just go ahead and say I really don't like Shakespeare stuff.
How can you?
I'm sure it's very good, but I just don't like it. It's not for me. There's only one other Shakespeare play that I don't mind, and that is The Merchant of Venice, which
you don't like
was
Macbeth?
made into a film. Pardon?
You don't like Macbeth at all?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I've never seen that, I'm afraid.
Double, toil and trouble.
Haven't
or something.
Haven't seen Macbeth. The The Merchant of Venice was made into a film a long time ago, starring Al Pacino, and I do like
Oh,
Pacino, so I watched that purely for his performance.
right.
And I like that. I like that as a story. I thought that was I didn't mind that at all, and I could watch the movie version of that no problem. Um, Romeo and Juliet, we studied at school, and I couldn't stand it. It absolutely did my head in. I was so bored. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
thoroughly sick of it. But
That
I didn't mind this
surprises
film.
me. You're so well spoken and so intelligent, Monkey Boy. It
well, I was
surprises
just
me that
saying, like,
that
okay,
you would be
it may not have
bored.
been my jam, but once you see the one with Olivia Hussey, then you know you could like I could tolerate the movie version of Romeo and Juliet.
Well,
Well, no,
Olivia Hussey is attractive. She's very attractive looking, or at least she was back in the day.
Exactly my point. That is all I gotta say.
But I feel a little bit bad because she was 16 at the time. She had to do nudity. And now her and Leonard Whiting, they wait till like recent years to file a lawsuit over that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was because of some California law that got passed.
Anyway,
Yeah,
the main reason that I like this film is because in the play they often use swords. There's a lot
okay.
of sword fighting in the play, and they use different kinds of swords. Now, in this film, all the swords have been replaced with guns, but the
Right.
guns have names on them, and the guns are named after types of swords. So you've got like rapier and
Okay.
whatever. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but I like the fact that the swords were replaced with guns, but they had a nod to the original play by calling the gun, or giving the names were engraved on the guns um, to correspond with the type of swords that were used in the play, and I thought that was a nice touch. So yeah, pick that up. It's one that I have seen obviously a couple of times, but I didn't own that, and I don't think I've seen the special edition.
Oh, okay.
So
Right here.
I figured that was a good idea. Again,
Oh,
10p,
he's got
12 cents. Oh, there you
oh
go.
he's
Cool.
got the, yeah,
My
he's got the
favorite
special
line from
edition.
this. My favorite line from this one is peace. I hate the word as much as there is a heaven or hell.
God.
And
Okay.
and I
I'll
have
look for it, and I'll fast forward to the gunfight scenes if
Yeah.
there is a gunfight scene.
Yeah,
I
no,
have an
it is
interest.
pretty cool.
I have an interesting story about this film. So when this came out on DVD, I went to the video store, and at that point, I didn't know about Shakespeare, and so I checked this out. I saw it as a Leonardo DiCaprio film, and I turned it on, and I was like listening to it, and I'm like, until after the gas station scene, I was just like, what am I watching? And then this film was just so amazing. It jump started the careers of so many. I mean, we after this we had the guy star in Scream, the one that was the video store guy. He
Okay.
was in this first. Then the guy from Swim Fan, which also was in. We also had this be the debut of the guy from Lost, the one that had he was the father of Walt. And we had the guy from The Sopranos before he was in The Sopranos. And
So
we
lots of
also
well-known
had,
people.
and we had the guy that after this he got the role of so before he did this, the guy who played the one that kills Mercutio,
Mhm.
before this he had starred in the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then he was in the one with what's his name? Patrick Swayze, where they're all dressed as ladies, and then they did.
You mean
Oh,
Leguizamo?
Wong
it's
Fu.
Leguizamo
the
was
Queen
in
of the
other
Desert.
stuff. Leguizamo was in other stuff. That didn't
Yeah.
make his career. He was in other stuff.
Yeah, it
He
was
was-
Yeah.
Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie
Yeah.
Newmar. So it was like
Right.
the American
Leguizamo's
version
been
of
around forever. Leguizamo, I
Priscilla.
wouldn't say that movie catapulted him. He's been in other stuff. I'm sorry, but Leguizamo's been around. That it's like I know who DiCaprio was. I remember him from Growing Pains. So it's just, I'll say this: Leonardo DiCaprio is probably he's not the greatest actor. I mean, if I had to say what his good role was, probably the remake of The Departed. But other than that,
He's been pretty good. I disagree. I think he's been pretty good in a lot of stuff. He was great in The Wolf of Wall Street. He was good in Django Unchained. I do rate him actually. And let's not forget.
Can I
Go on,
can
Tim.
I quickly tell you?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Monkey. I think we've been spending a little bit too much time on this one particular movie, and
yeah,
Monkey Boy was showing us the DVDs he got. So I just want to move things along a little bit so we
Okay.
can get on to the next movie.
Cool.
Yep.
He had to
But
show
yeah,
us.
I agree with Tim. That movie does sound very peculiar hearing them speak in Shakespeare. Anyway, let's move on. The next one I got, and I haven't seen this, so no spoilers, please. But it's Meet Joe Black.
Okay.
Haven't seen that one. I understand it's got something to do with a guy
Yep.
who meets the devil.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
have
the
you-
devil so much; it's the Grim Reaper. So it's death.
okay.
He's meeting death,
Okay.
but then
Okay.
I think
Thanks.
he's giving him more time on Earth in exchange for dating his daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You
So
might like
does
it. You might
Anthony?
like
Hang on.
You might like it. I've seen it.
Oh, I misunderstood this because when I looked at the back, I assumed that Brad Pitt was the guy and that Anthony Hopkins was death, but actually it's the other way around. I didn't realise that.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing that then.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was even about that. I was familiar with the name Meet Joe Black. I knew that was a film, but I had no idea that it was about that. So I look forward to seeing that. The next one I got here, let's remember, just to remind you all again, 12 cents each, all of these.
Yep.
The next one was A Walk Among the Tombstones, which is a Liam Neeson film. I'm not expecting it to be brilliant. For 10p, I wasn't going to leave that behind. Apparently, the thrills never let up and the action is relentless. So I'll give that one a go. Next up is a film that I have seen. I can't remember anything about it, but I do remember being quite impressed by some of the visuals and stuff. I think it's a Russian film called Night Watch.
Okay.
I think it's Russian.
Is that a lenticular cover?
No, it's just shiny metallic. It's not a lenticular one. And yes, I can confirm it is Russian. It's a Russian vampire film. And of course, there was the sequel to this, which was Day Watch, which I haven't seen. But again,
play on names.
Yeah. But I do seem to remember being quite impressed by this, or enjoying it quite a lot. And I think I might be right in saying this is the only Russian film that I own.
Oh.
Next up was X-Men 3, I believe, The Last Stand.
Okay.
Not a terrible film. I quite enjoyed some of the early X-Men films, and this wasn't terrible. I think I saw this at the cinema.
Oh.
But yeah, X-Men.
It made me cry.
Oh, Monkey, don't
That
cry.
scene.
It'll be all right. What scene made you cry?
The one where she says, "Kill me, kill me," and when you see him in agonizing pain as he's trying to kill him, as he's trying to honor her wish to kill her, and then you see him mourn her loss.
Oh, oh, don't
Yep.
cry, monkey. It'll be all right. It's only pretend. Anyway, there you go. There's that one. Next up was Spectre.
Oh, the Daniel Craig Spectre, no?
Yep.
Or is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That one was okay. I like
It
that
wasn't. It wasn't amazing, but again, I'm not going
Yeah.
to leave it in the shop for 10p.
No,
I'm
no.
buying
Well,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely buying that.
Exactly.
And I also got, now I believe this is a 2-disc special edition of Die Another Day.
Oh, okay.
Andrew,
Not my
funny.
favourite James Bond.
Brosnan, right? Brosnan.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. He's certainly not my favourite James Bond. But a double disc special edition. I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. So yeah, thank you very much, charity shop. I'll have that.
The only James Bond film where you see him coming out of the water with a beard.
Oh.
What?
Yes, in the beginning of that film, it's on a beach and he's coming out of the water with a full beard.
Okay. Is
That's
it
the
the one
only
with the invisible? It's the one with the invisible car, isn't it? Is that the one?
I'm still emotional.
You still upset about X-Men, Monkey?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. It'll be all right. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
not real, so you can relax.
Everyone was fine.
It's
a film
only
I
a
mentioned
movie.
earlier on.
It's only a movie. It's only a movie.
Here's a film that I mentioned earlier on in response to Lester's shocking assertion that that Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't that great, which is an outrageous thing to say. So yeah, it's Django Unchained.
Okay.
Now
well,
I think I already have this. I think I already own this. But I think this might be a different cover to the one I've got. I couldn't remember if I had it or not, so I thought, well, I'll buy it. Again, it's worth the risk, isn't it? Because if I do already own it, I've only spent 10 pence.
Yeah.
You look all excited, Monkey Boy, about that movie.
About what, Django?
Yeah,
Django's
the way your eyes are getting all big, you look all excited.
I think I was laughing at Lester's outrageous statement about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
This is a really good movie. I've seen it a couple of times, and yeah, really do enjoy that. Next up, we've got the classic Taken, Liam Neeson again.
Yes.
This is the extended harder cut, as you can see here. I don't know if I've seen the extended cut, but obviously, there we go. And the famous line, he has a special set of skills, or whatever it is he says.
Yeah. It's it's a popcorn movie, man. It's just one of those you can escape and you can throw out all levels of objectivity out the window and just enjoy it.
Yeah. Now I must say, Liam Neeson, in my opinion, he's not my favorite action star. I don't know if he's an odd choice for action.
Fair, but he's like a Johnny come lately to the genre, no? Because he's done dramas. Because I remember him back in Schindler's List. I think that was that him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's a Johnny come lately to the genre, and that's nothing against him. It's just he just discovered this. I don't know if it was the PTSD from Phantom Menace, but it's just one of those things where he's on an action kick. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
After his wife died, he really threw himself into acting roles, and kind of became an action movie star, like you say, very late in the game. And it was an unusual. It was unusual to see him taking on those kind of roles. I mean, I suppose he did do some action and stuff before. Of course, he did Sam Raimi's Darkman,
Oh, oh, that was him in Darkman. Okay,
Yep, that was Liam Neeson.
okay.
And I just saw a comment from Zantara. She's taken your side, Lester. She's saying that DiCaprio stinks. So it's absolutely outrageous display of opinions here. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
not
know
alone.
what to
I'm not alone.
say. Okay, I've got 3 left.
That sounds good.
Next up, we've got Hannibal Rising. I can't remember if I've seen it or not.
Who's the Hannibal? Is that still Ray Fine or someone else?
He died.
Let me
Oh,
have
wait.
a look.
Wait. I'm thinking like Ray Fine did one Hannibal Lecter, and I think was Norton in it. Was Norton installed as a Hannibal Lecter in one iteration or another?
He wasn't Hannibal Lecter. No, I think he was one of the investigators.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't see who's. I assume that the guy playing Hannibal in this is someone called Gaspard Uliel.
Okay.
I don't know. It's far too small for me to read.
Yeah. It's a newbie. It looks like. It sounds like a newbie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, give it a go.
Sure.
Next up is a film that I've heard mixed things about this film, but I've never seen it. And again, I mean, I sound like a parrot, but for 10p, I'm not going to leave it behind. It's Pearl Harbor.
Oh, the one with Ben Affleck.
Yes, with old Batfleck. It's got the old
yeah.
Batfleck in it.
And it
Haven't seen
has Josh something in it, the guy from 40 Days and 40 Nights. And the I believe it was
30
H2O.
Do you mean 30 Days of Night, Monkey?
No, 40 Days and 40 Nights, a favorite of mine.
I don't know what that is. Are you sure you're not talking about the vampire film 30 Days of Night?
I promise you, I'm correct. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean Josh Hartnett?
No problem.
He was,
yes.
He was in Black Hawk Down and a number of movies, but with a lot of those movie stars, they find themselves out of the limelight, or they find better pastures because Hollywood can be a chew you up, spit you out kind of thing.
So was Josh Hartnett not also in 30 Days of Night?
I don't know his.
Well, he was, but he was also in 40 Days and 40 Nights. So he was in both.
Cool.
I highly recommend you check it out.
Okay, cool. So that's really weird that he's been in a film with 40 Days and 40 Nights, and then he was in 30 Days of Night. That's bizarre.
Good for him.
I believe it was him in that vampire movie. A good vampire movie, actually. Quite a good one, that. So there. And then the last one that I picked up was a classic, and I'm sure we've all seen this. Rain Man.
Oh, yeah. I got to watch it again with my older senses, man. I watched it as a kid.
Special edition?
Not the special edition, because I think I watched it it might have either been in the theaters or my dad rented it on VHS at the time. I forget. But I think I watched it on the ship. I think I watched it on the ship.
Okay. But yeah, so that was the final one. So they're all the films that I picked up for 10p each. So I'm guessing that costs me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So they cost me £1.50, which I think is probably about $1.75, $1.80, something like that.
All that, can't complain.
No, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Thank you, Tim. Thanks for letting me show those.
You're welcome. And it was under $2.
Yep. That is all. That is
for you.
That is a steal,
I think
man.
so.
I'll show what I was gifted. This is not like entertainment, but it'll help me be entertained if I ever feel like I need to take a dose of coffee or whatever caffeinated. I don't know if you can see the lettering, but my mom sent me. This is the second one.
You're frozen. Lester,
you're frozen, dude, and your camera's not on.
Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
Hang on.
Let it go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, but your video is frozen.
Wait, is my camera still frozen now?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're not.
Hang
Now
on.
There
you're
we go.
starting to
We can see
move,
you
but
now.
you're.
Let me go ahead and refresh my page.
Okay, we
might-
can see you now.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yep.
So my mom sent me, this is the second one she sent me. Because she sent me first a pack of lids. I'm like, where did I order this? I don't remember ordering a pack of lids from a company I'm aware of, but I never got into their store. So what's this for? And then my mom texts me one day, did you get the package? Like, oh, because she swears by this brand. It's Yeti. I don't know if I can bring it up and I'll.
Oh right, I've heard of that. I've heard of that
Yeah,
brand.
yeah. So she sends me like a 10-ounce one. I'm like, okay, that's cool. She personalized it. She got my name on it with my initials, but this one, I understand it's a surprise, but I didn't think she would put the other badge with my college, which is Cal State Los Angeles. If she had asked me, I would have said, if you wanted to do that personalization and have my alma mater there, the color would have been black. I think black base with gold print. That would have matched, or yellow print, whichever shade of yellow or gold you want to go with, because that was the school colors at the time I went there. It still would be there. I think it would still be black and gold. And
Yeah.
what time is it right now? And I just saw Gerard's comment. What was the other Snorefest to? Gerard, what was the Snorefest? What movie were you referencing? Was that because it was funny when I saw the Meet Joe Black, I was thinking about the other movie he did where he plays Death in Meet Joe Black, but I don't know what character he played in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So it's really interesting the roles Brad Pitt selects for his career, and it's like he doesn't seem picky. And I don't know if he's hurting for cash, but man, he's like, okay, that sounds cool. And I think he was the crazy guy in 12 Monkeys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's a interesting take on his career. It's almost like, oh, okay, that sounds like a cool role. I'll take it on. Like he's done Inglourious Bastards. The book, I think it was what is it? Bullet Train was the one I saw of his.
Please tell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please tell them about his role in Thelma and Louise.
Oh, I did not watch that movie. It was too chick flicky for me. It was more like that's
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit too chick flicky for some people.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what my mom would watch.
That's not something for everybody.
No, it's not.
Okay.
And Tim, you can minimize me now and bring us back all on the big screen.
I like Thelma and Louise. Anyway, let me just go back and catch up with a lot of these comments because there's been quite a few.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to pick it up from Xantara's comment about Connect 4, the movie. I'll go from there. Gerard's saying he loved playing the electric version of Battleship, the fold down one. Yep. Andrew, Hungry Hippos. Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember the commercials.
Excellent. Andrew's saying the Wolverine Origins movie is rough. Maybe the special features will be worth something. Yeah, I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't a winner, but I couldn't remember if I had it, so I figured I'd get it. Gerard O'Connor is asking if we remember Buckaroo and saying that horse went mental. Yep. Yep. Like a bit of Buckaroo. Romeo and Juliet, great movie according to Gerard.
Okay.
Adora is saying that Deadpool has no mouth in the
Yep.
in
I
the
remember
movie.
that.
And Xantara is saying that the Romeo and Juliet movie with DiCaprio is just wretched. So she's not a fan of that. Okay. Andrew was going to was going to guess Shakespeare in Love for Monkey Boy. Yeah, no.
With
Um,
what's his name? Oh no, I know Gwyneth Paltrow's in there, but don't know about the bloke who played whatever. I think I know his face, but not his name.
okay. Adora is saying the cinematography in I assume she's talking about Romeo and Juliet. She's saying the cinematography is gorgeous. And she likes the cover of the DVD. Thank you. Andrew's saying he thinks he first remembers DiCaprio from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was with
That kind
that
of
was
role,
him and
I'll
Johnny
give him
Depp,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
That
for
was
that
Johnny
role,
Depp,
I
wasn't it?
because it's not easy to play that kind of character.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't think.
He
I
Leo
guess I
had
may
to
have said
play
it.
Leo had to play a autistic, right?
I don't know what his
Yeah.
reflection was.
Yeah, I think maybe he was mildly might have just been mildly autistic because
Yeah.
he wasn't like mute at all.
Right.
He
Yeah.
was talking a little bit, but
Sure.
he seemed to be a little bit more childlike than
Yeah.
most high functioning autistics.
Right. And it did have Johnny Depp in the film, so you know, speaking of people who play their roles and do what they need to, I speaking of taking the
Adora.
options, I just feel for Johnny Depp because what happened to him and him losing a couple roles, maybe that one role, but yeah, looking back on his career, he's made a name for himself. Thankfully, I mean, he rehabilitated himself just like Robert Downey Jr. But
Yeah, yeah. It would be good to see a comeback, but let's
yeah,
see.
I love
Adora's saying
Johnny
that
in
Johnny Depp was beautiful in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I think.
yeah.
and also Benny and June.
Oh yeah, he was in that one. Yeah.
Haven't seen that.
Interesting fact, it also had to do with mental illness, right?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that, and yeah. I think if I remember loosely what his role was, it was like that. I do remember him in Edward Scissorhands. Yep.
Yeah. Let me just catch up with these chats.
Sure.
Andrew's saying that I have a particular set of skills when it comes to buying DVDs, which is
Yes, you do.
seems to be the case.
Yep.
Gerard is saying that Night Watch is super cool, and he mentions the sequel. Yep, that of course being Day Watch. Adora is saying that that reminds me of the South Park film. It released the same day as Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And kids
Yep.
bought kids bought tickets to see Wild Wild West, but snuck in to see South Park.
Exactly.
Adora's saying, did I say Day Watch or Bay Watch? Yeah. No, I said Day Watch. Andrew's saying that he thought the X-Men movies were documentaries. No, they're not. It's an easy mistake to make. I can see why you thought that, but no, they're not. Adora's giving Monkey some hugs because he was sad at the this scene in X-Men 3.
Mm-hmm.
Xantara's really not happy with me because she says, ugh, Romeo and Juliet and Spectre in the same stream, two of my most hated movies. Sorry about that, Xantara. I didn't mean to upset you. I do apologise.
It's not
But
our intention.
I will remind you they were 12 cents each. I'm sure you would probably argue that perhaps they're not even worth 12 cents, but I would have to disagree. I think 12 cents is a fair price for those. Gerard's saying that for 10p a piece, I basically committed theft. I know. I mean, if they were any cheaper, they would have been paying me to take them away. Adora's saying that Pierce Brosnan is the best Bond. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gerard's saying hey to Zantara.
I know people who hold that opinion about Brosnan, or I should say, it is a mixed bag with Brosnan as Bond, but I know some people who liked him as Bond, and of course, people like yourself. I'm indifferent. I thought it was okay. My favorite probably is my personal favorite is Dalton as Bond, but that was probably my first
Oh, okay.
contact with Bond, as a character.
Adora's saying that she doesn't like Leo as a person, but he's a good actor. I
Fair.
don't know. I really don't know what the guy's like as a person. I just know that the films he's been in, I've been very impressed with his performance. But you get this sometimes. Sometimes people have different opinions about actors. I know people that think Johnny Depp is a terrible actor, but I think he's a great actor. So
Yep.
it kind of it does vary, doesn't it? There's someone that people
He's just a
always
little
seem
bit
to.
strange of a person, is all. I think it's just a problem.
I mean, there are some people that
Eccentric of
think
a
Charles
person.
Dance is a good actor. I can't stand Charles Dance. He does my head in. But he's a very well respected theatre and
Theater
movie
actor.
actor. But I don't like him at all. Let's have a look. Travels and More with Jason is saying that it's almost sleepy time. So he's and he's got to be up at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew said he thought I said Tekken, not Taken. No. Let's have a look. Zantara is confirming that Liam Neeson was in Darkman in 1990. Yep. And Adora likes Liam Neeson. Jason's saying he likes Taken and Taken 2, but 3 not as good. Gerard saying in Taken, could Liam Neeson possibly dodge any more bullets? Same in all movies. Just takes me out of the experience. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew saying they need to put him in the Expendables. Okay. Adora saying that Pierce Brosnan and Liam Neeson, her country's 2 greatest male actors. Okay. Of course, Adora being from Ireland. Ben saying night to Jason. Jason's apologising that he's not a fan of. I don't know who he's referring to, but he's not a fan of somebody.
Probably Leonardo
well, he says as well DiCaprio. So there's someone else he doesn't rate as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jason had to go to bed.
Yeah. Andrew saying Hannibal, the guy with the elephants. Manhunter is a fun take on the story from '86. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten all about Manhunter. Adora is saying Hannibal Rising is quite good. She used to crush so hard on Gaspard, the French lead actor. Okay. Andrew saying he's not sure that Pearl Harbor is worth my time and sitting through it might be a war crime. Jason saying it's a great film, get the first 30 minutes out and then it's a great action film. I assume he's talking about Pearl Harbor. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
Adora's saying, I don't want to miss a thing. I don't know if that's a reference to Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Wasn't that from Robin Hood, or am I? No.
No, it's a song. It's Steven Tyler Aerosmith recorded it for I think it was the movie Armageddon. I don't want to close my eyes and I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, now you say it, it makes sense. Gerard O'Connor saying utter snorefest. I'm assuming that's is that Pearl Harbor you're talking about, Gerard? Andrew saying 30 Days of Night started as a comic book. More unsolicited comic book facts no one wanted. Well, interestingly, when I bought the 30 Days of Night on DVD, I got the graphic novel with it. It was a special edition. It came with the graphic novel, which was quite fun to have, quite nice to have. I'm sure I've still got it. Jason's saying that 30 Days of Night was a great horror film, and that he believes there was a sequel. Adora's never seen Rain Man, but it's on the list. Yeah, it's a good watch. Andrew's saying £1.50 is probably 2,000 Argentine pesos. Don't know. Oh, okay. Zantara's saying that Pearl Harbor is the story of a cornball love triangle where there is a minor subplot about World War II. Well, Zantara, you've put me right off that. Now I
My
will,
bags
that'll
are
go to
packed and ready to go.
excellent. Okay. Gerard saying BP's best roles are Fight Club, Snatch, and Seven. What's in the box? Yeah, I mean, I would agree. They are probably some of Brad Pitt's finest moments. Seven is fantastic. Have you seen Seven, Tim?
Yeah, I've seen it. But
The ending of that was absolutely like.
that reminds me of. It's also the name of a song that I think Prince recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that goes with their insolence or something and their savoir faire.
Oh, okay.
Seven will die. All seven will die or something.
You've got a great memory for these things, Tim.
I guess. I don't have a photographic one, though.
No, but it's a very encyclopedic memory you've got. Adora is saying she's mentioning another Brad Pitt film here, 12 Monkeys. She loves Terry Gilliam films. Yeah, 12 Monkeys is good. That was a bit of a head scratcher at the end. I think that was a film that I watched the first time and then immediately watched it again because I was trying to work out quite what was going on. Jason's saying that he's off, so I guess he's up to bed now.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer you can stay up, Monkey Boy, if you're feeling tired at all.
Let's catch up with the chat and then we'll think about wrapping things up, shall we? Ben is approving of the DVD haul. He's trying to work out how many pence per hour of film. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck with maths. Zantara has been calling Leo DiCaprio since 1996. And Lester, you have Zantara's permission to use that nickname whenever you refer to him.
Noted.
Poor Leo. Gerard saying the best thing about Pierce Brosnan as Bond was the N64's GoldenEye. I have to agree.
Yes.
I bought a GoldenEye. I bought an N64 purely for that game. A friend of mine had an N64 and we would play GoldenEye, and I absolutely loved it. So I bought an N64 just for GoldenEye, and I still have it. And
Nice.
the only game I have is GoldenEye. I don't have any other N64 games at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Adora is saying that the quote that the Aerosmith line was from Armageddon, which is what you said, Tim.
Yep.
And I think it also had that cover version of that Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded John Denver written song, Leaving on a Jet Plane. It was somebody. All my
Okay.
bags are packed, I'm ready to go. So kiss me and smile for me, hold me like you never did before. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again.
I like that song. Gerard is saying to Adora that he believes Cillian Murphy is without doubt Ireland's best male actor, or
Oh.
maybe Daniel Day-Lewis. Certainly not Liam Neeson or PB. Who did we say PB was again? Oh, Pierce Brosnan. Okay.
I hope those were
Adora's
not fighting words, Monkey Boy.
Adora's saying the only Michael Bay films she's seen are the Transformers films, and she gets Pearl Harbor and Armageddon confused. Okay.
I hope you got to enjoy those Transformer Michael Bay flicks, but because I know I couldn't, and I still haven't come around. So that's just me.
Okay. It seems that Ben is off to bed because he's following Jason's lead. Thanks for stopping by, Ben. Cheers for joining us for the stream. Adora is agreeing that that Cillian Murphy and Daniel Day-Lewis are very good. Andrew is saying that the Transformers franchise never recovered from the death of Orson Welles, the mind behind Citizen Kane. So did Orson Welles was the voice of?
I think it was Omicron or Unicron.
Unicron, the Monster Planet. That was Orson Welles. So it was his last film.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he died.
Yep. And you wouldn't believe how star-studded that cast was. Like, I saw the credits
hang on.
first time.
Are we talking about the first Transformers animated movie?
Yeah.
That is right. It was star-studded. I didn't know. Like, I didn't even know such a movie existed when I was growing up. But when I recently got a digital copy from YouTube, I'm like, Leonard Nimoy is in this? What? I forgot who he voiced.
Who did he voice?
I think it might have been Galvatron.
It was either Galvatron or Cyclonus. It was one of the two.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Transformers, I got some Transformers this week, which I forgot all about. They're just sitting here. I've just realised. I'll show them in a second.
Okay.
Andrew is saying, Adora is saying to Andrew that they peaked in the 80s and it's still the best Transformers film. The soundtrack is godlike. Yeah, the soundtrack is good on Transformers the movie. And Andrew's saying, Adora, you've got the touch.
Yep.
And then Adora is saying, Andrew, you've got the power. Andrew, pleasant dreams to Ben. Gerard is saying to Andrew and Adora his favourite line in the Transformers animated movie is, if you're going to ride, Daniel, ride in style. I don't remember that.
I'll have to rewatch the movie.
Santara saying that 12 cents for Romeo and Juliet and Spectre was about $2,000 too much. And Gerard's saying another line from Transformers the movie, Hot Rod, there's a hole in the shuttle. Decepticons. Okay. Andrew's drawing a blank for film quotes. But his favourite song in the soundtrack is Instruments of Destruction, Nothing's
Oh.
Going to Stand in Our Way, Hunger, and the Transformers theme by Lion.
Mm.
Andrew is saying to Gerard that the best line is, "It's over, Prime." It was just a cold-blooded thing to say to a MFer before Megatron popped a cap in his ass. Yeah. And so speaking of Transformers, I got a couple this week, which I'll just show you quickly now. The first one is the Combaticon Brawl. And this, of course, joined forces with several other Decepticons to make the larger character. I think it was Bruticus, if memory serves. I think he was called Bruticus. So here is Brawl in his tank mode. I'll just quickly change him into robot mode so we can see him in the robot mode. Very simple to do. His arms are a little bit stiff, but that's probably a good thing. Here we go, and there he is in robot mode. Just put his little gun back. Well, I bought him on eBay. He didn't come with the cannon attachment or his blaster rifle, but I have ordered those separately. So they will be coming in the next few days, and then there'll be a complete Brawl. Now, I do already own a Brawl somewhere. I have got one because I had one as a kid, and I'm sure I still own it somewhere, but I don't know where. And I really wanted another one. And I must say, when this arrived today actually. When this arrived, I was very surprised at how small it was. I remember it being much bigger, but of course, the last time I played with this, my hands were probably about half the size. So I seem to remember this being a much bigger vehicle, but actually it's quite a small toy. And the next one that I bought, and I don't know how much you guys know about your Transformer lore and the story of Transformers, but the next one I bought was Scourge or Scourge, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. Now, I always thought this was a boat because it looks like it would be a boat, like some sort of a hovercraft or something.
Right.
But actually, this is a flying vehicle, which is quite bizarre.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a land speeder, but it could be.
It does.
Maybe a submarine.
It's interesting you say that because I was trying to put my finger on what this reminded me of, and of course, yeah, you're right, Tim. It's very much like a land speeder, isn't it? Particularly with these twin thrusters on the back, and this central one here. That it's very reminiscent of a speeder. Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. So yeah, I'll quickly just transform him while I'm talking about him. Now, the reason I wanted, there was two reasons I wanted Scourge. The first was because I never had him as a child, and I always thought he was really cool. I knew people that did have him, and I always thought he was a cool guy. So I wanted him. I've wanted him basically since I was a kid anyway. I'm having some difficulty transforming him. And the other reason that I wanted to get him is because if you remember the Decepticon Seeker Jet Thundercracker, well, Thundercracker was turned into Scourge by Galvatron, I believe. And I really like Thundercracker. Thundercracker is my favorite of the Seeker jets. And when I found out that Scourge was here we go, that Scourge was actually a reincarnated Thundercracker, I thought, oh, I'll just have to get him. And I also particularly like the fact that he's got kind of a Guy Fawkes moustache and beard. There aren't that many Transformers that have got facial hair.
What Transformer? What?
Yeah, but he's they started phasing out the old characters and bringing in the new ones after when it came to the movie. They started phasing out characters.
Okay. But yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I was like that too. I didn't know what the whole deal was when they went from Optimus to I think it was Rodimus Prime.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, well, first Ultra Magnus became the new leader, but then the Decepticons stole the Matrix,
Okay.
but then Hot Rod had got it back and ended up earning leadership.
I see.
but when you find this guy on eBay, quite often the stickers here are very worn, because you have to grip this part of the vehicle to pull it out to transform it, and over time, with lots of transformations, these stickers always used to rub off. It's the same thing with the Decepticon logo at the front. That is often in quite poor condition, but I managed to get this guy. I mean, he wasn't cheap, I must say. I won't say what I paid for it, but it was quite a lot. But there were several
No,
on
don't
eBay that I was
say.
looking.
Don't say it.
But I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I did pay quite a lot for it, but I wanted one in good condition. There were several others that were sort of 20, 30 pounds, something like that, but the stickers were in really poor condition, and I didn't want to get one and then have to buy repro stickers. I wanted one that was all original. And he came with his blaster, and he's got all his bits and pieces with him. The only thing that I find puzzling about this toy is when you transform him, I think you're supposed to remove this piece that goes on the top, to show his head, like so. I don't believe he has it attached to his head in the instruction manual. And also this thing that comes on the top, it comes into two parts, and I don't quite know why. Whether this is supposed to be a little projectile or something, I don't quite understand that, and it's not referred to in the instruction manual as being a two-part thing, so I don't quite know why this bit comes apart.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No, and it doesn't seem to fit in his. Let me just see. Does it fit in his hand? I don't think it fits in his hand either. I'll just double check and see if it is a. No, it doesn't, or does it? No, it doesn't seem to fit in his hand as a weapon. So I really don't know why this piece, that's on the top of his head, I don't know why that comes apart into two bits. It's a bit of a mystery, but I certainly noticed on examples that I was seeing on eBay, this bit is often missing, and also this bit, to be honest. So to find one that was complete, 100% complete with the instructions, no box, but I got the instructions and the weapons and stuff. Very happy to have that. So I've now got Scourge. Now, what do you guys think? Is it Scourge or Scourge?
I think it's Scourge.
At least for how I pronounce it, that's right. I use Scourge. But
okay.
But if some people are used to saying Scourge, I'm not going to fault them for it. It's like tomato. At least that's how I would look at it.
Yeah, but in the UK they say tomato instead of tomato.
Right. So,
tomato. Oh yes, jolly good, jolly hockey sticks. Tomato.
It's just like the way you say cracker in the UK. You say cracker.
Cracker.
So good. So good. That's all I'm saying is all good. I'm not going to hold it. Yeah.
Here's the instruction booklet and the and his weapon that I got with him as well. So very happy to have that. Let's just have a quick look at the chat just to catch up to where we are. Let's have a look. Okay, Gerard's got some quotes again. Spare me this mockery of justice. Okay. Gerard likes Weird Al's track, Deadly Stupid.
Mhm.
Andrew's agreeing with Tim and says that it looks like a land speeder crossover. Star Wars meets Transformers. Gerard's saying cool pickups, space boats. Yeah, I always thought it was a speedboat, and yet, of course, he's a flying. He's an aerial vehicle. I don't know how something like that can fly, because there's no flight surfaces on it. There would be nothing to generate lift. So
Right.
I guess it's more of a rocket than it is a plane, but nevertheless. Yes, yeah. Andrew's saying that Tim and he are thinking alike on the matter of it looking like a speeder, a land speeder. Andrew's saying that Thundercracker sounds wrong.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I think
Thundercracker does sound wrong.
you're good at being British.
Well, it's just after. Wait, just remember that other guy when Retroblasting knows Conrad, a movie oubliette.
Oh yeah, he's got a voice like
Cracker.
butter, hasn't he?
He says
He's got-
cracker.
Yeah, he's got a good voice though. It's very very smooth and buttery. Andrew is saying, no, sorry, Gerard is saying, strong with the force, you two. Andrew says that Starscream is a great name, and Thundercracker sounds like a novelty toy from a Cracker Jack box. Well, I like Thundercracker is my favourite of the Seeker Jets. I think he's probably got the best name because I think Thundercracker is a fantastic name. But Starscream, I do agree. Starscream is also a very good name.
And Adora Lovely's says she has to go to bed now. Says good night, Tim, Lester, Monkey, and Monkey Boy. It's been fun. Thank you for the fun stream and chat. And you're welcome,
Okay, cool.
Adora.
Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us.
We
hopefully we'll see you next time. Sleep well.
We lost the YouTuber, the monkey, earlier. He dropped out.
Oh, he did.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe he just got tired.
Okay. Andrew is saying that the motorcycle guy had a moustache. I can't remember the motorcycle guy. I can't remember his name.
Maybe Retgar, who was the junk yard sort of Autobot.
Okay. Did he have a moustache?
Maybe, I don't know. It seemed like there was quite a few that had that were mustached.
Andrew saying that generally most Transformers shave daily, and he expects to see them start endorsing electric men's grooming products on YouTube. Yeah. Ben said he was off to bed, but Monkey Boy is quite a watchable, listenable chap, though. Well, that's very kind of you to say so, Ben. I'm not sure I'm watchable because I've got this face. Look at it.
It's just your eyes get so big, I think.
Well, my eyes naturally are very closed. People have often said to me that I look stoned all the time because my eyes are kind of half shut. And whenever I talk to people on voice messenger, they always think that I've got my eyes closed, but they're not. They're open. But this is about as open as they get. And at a distance, it looks like my eyes are closed or I'm half asleep. So it's only when I do this, when I really stare, that I can make my eyes look open. So just to assure everybody that I am awake.
Okay, well, don't stare too hard at anything. So it looks like maybe you're going to strain your eyes doing that.
Oh, Gerard saying that Thundercracker aged quite a bit after the Unicron upgrade. Yeah. Andrew's saying that I always get my loose toys in minty condition, and he has some real beat to crap jobbers around here. Yeah, I do prefer to get my toys in as minty condition as I can. Yeah, that is true. There are a few things I'm not so concerned about. For example, I collected about 10 or 12 Thundercats figures, but none of them had their weapons. So I wasn't worried about getting them complete because I didn't want to pay that kind of money. I just wanted to represent the Thundercats, the LJN Thundercats line in my collection. So I didn't have the weapons for any of them. But I did want to get ones in as good a condition as I could that hadn't gone sticky, where the paint hadn't rubbed off. So I do like to have nice examples if I can. I do have some figures that aren't in great condition, but wherever I can, I do like to upgrade to nice ones, because obviously they display better, and I want to remember them in as a nicer way as possible. And of course, 50 or 60% of the stuff I buy is new anyway, and I don't generally open them. So Andrew is agreeing with Ben, but not sure how Skeletor feels about him. Oh, right. Okay. So he's talking. Okay. So he's not sure how Skeletor feels about me. He hates me. He hates me. We hate each other.
Yeah, he hates Monkey Boy. That should be a given by now. He hates Monkey Boy.
Gerard is wanting to leave Skeletor out of the discussion, which is fair. Gerard O'Connor, as some of you may or may not know, Gerard O'Connor is at the top of Skeletor's ninny list. Skeletor has a list of ninnies, and Gerard's name is firmly at the top, and I don't think anyone's going to challenge his position at the moment. There have been a couple of other comments that have warranted the author being added to the ninny list, but Gerard, you're still at the top, mate. Let's have a look. Ben's saying that Skeletor is all talk. He knows who pays the rent. Yes, yep. I do remind him of that occasionally, and say that he's living with me free of charge. So, and I don't really ask much of him. I ask that he scares the pigeons out of the garden, and barks at the postman. But they're his only two real responsibilities around here. Gerard saying potato patata. Andrew says if you call him Scourge, you could say Scourge, you could say he's scorageous. Rhymes with gorgeous. Scorageous. Scorageous. Okay. Yes, and Adora was saying she's off to bed. Saying good night to everyone. So thanks again for joining us, Adora. Everyone's saying good night to Adora. And then Gerard's saying that Planet Junkion was a real shithole. Yes. Yep. Yes, it was. But Andrew's saying that he's lived in worse neighbourhoods. And I think we're all just about caught up. So Tim, do you have anything that you want to wrap up the show with? It's been we're almost at 3 hours, so we've done really well.
Yeah, I think I showed you all my new stuff. I would have shown you Boba Fett, but
I got the wrong one, but hopefully that'll be fixed. But
So did they send you a Boba Fett, but it was the wrong Boba Fett?
yeah, this was not what I ordered. I ordered the vintage collection one that's the same color. I didn't order.
Are
I
you showing
already
it
have.
now? Because
This is the
okay.
retro collection one that I got sent by mistake, and it says retro right there.
Yeah, and you ordered the vintage collection one.
Yes. So this guy's got one more chance to get this right.
Who is this?
Do you
It's somebody
now
on
have to send that one? Do you have to send that one back to him?
He didn't say. He said no return. So if he wants it back, he's gonna have to figure something out.
So have you resolved the issue? Is he going to send you the right one?
Yeah, he's sending me another one, so it should be the right one this time. But I've got this other diorama scene that I'm gonna set up.
Yeah.
I've got the stormtroopers, but the Luke. I don't really have a Luke that. I don't have a farm boy Luke that has the stormtrooper gun, so I ordered a vintage collection style one that has the gun. So
okay.
I think this has a string that they can swing across, but I just want to have a farm boy Luke that has the gun so we can shoot at the stormtroopers, and then I can add the bridge and just use it as a place for Obi-Wan and Darth Vader to duel. That's why I got.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I don't know. Did I show you this Obi-Wan last week that I got from Tungori?
Yeah, that's cool. That is. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
but I think maybe the hood was a little bit too big, so that's why I bought this custom one, since it just is the hooded one that from the Death Star duel scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just working on a bunch of different little projects here and there.
Yeah. Have you opened those Marvel figures yet?
No, not yet, because I've got so many that are opened up in my bedroom, so it's just I've got to find spots to put everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I need to find some more room for stuff. And there's a toy fair coming up in just over 2 weeks' time, which I'll be going to. So
yeah, and thanks, Gerard. Even though I haven't had as much time to do those, I've been busy with the choir and with helping my friends Terry and Tiffany at Cult Radio with their Roku streaming station, Cult TV A Go, getting that put together every week.
Okay.
So,
Andrew and Gerard are thanking Tim for the stream. They really appreciate the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerard saying that the 3 hours just whizzes by. And they're saying that it's a fun hangout. So yeah, thanks to Tim for hosting the stream. It's good to see you all in the chat. Thank you for coming along. If it weren't for people in the chat, we wouldn't really have much of a stream to go on with. So it's it's good that you guys are able to sort of contribute and ask questions and make comments and help us along. So thanks to you guys as well. It's a joint effort.
Yes.
Ben Stutley is saying cheers to everyone. And yeah, Gerard saying thanks to Ben for being here. Yeah, and thanks to Andrew and Gerard and Ben for moderating the chat. Obviously, we haven't had any issues, but thanks to you guys for holding the wrench for us, despite not having really much in the way of trouble. We've been very lucky. We haven't had
Yep.
any nonsense, so that's very cool.
Yep.
And Gerard O'Connor is saying, cue the music, Tim.
Okay. Yeah, I want to turn back on the music to end.
Well,
First
thank you to the monkey for joining us earlier. Thanks to Lester, who's still with us. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate that. And thanks to Tim for hosting us this evening. It's been great hanging out and seeing all your stuff. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. And now we didn't have Kim and
Oh no.
Action Popcast Nick with us this week, and
that's true. It's true, but we got there, and we've done just over 3 hours. So that's I think we did well. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks to everyone for joining us in the chat. Those of you that are still here and those that have departed, really appreciate you guys stopping by. And we'll see you all soon. See what we get next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Good run, guys.
See ya.